Hello everyone, so in this video or in this week's blog I'm going to show you how I'm building my appointment setting agency in my spare time. So currently I'm a food delivery driver that is working 3 days a week, so that's Friday, Saturday and Sunday, but I have 4 days remaining for basically working in the business, the thing that is going to give me the biggest return on investment, right? So having said that, let's get into the blog. Hello guys, how's it going? So in this video, I'm going to do a blog of day 2 of being an appointment setter. So, or not being an appointment setter, or working to become an appointment setter, or in the process of being an appointment setter, or the appointment setter life, basically, right? So today I have a couple of good things that I'm gonna do. So it's gonna be number 1, content creation. So this video right here, which is gonna be a blog of what I'm doing. Number 2, I'm gonna do some engagement in a school community. Basically, that school community is sales.io, which is I'm gonna be commenting, I'm gonna be learning from these people, and I'm gonna see if there's some job applications open. And then lastly, there's this sales practice thing that I wanna do, or not lastly, but another thing I wanna do is sales practice with Gemini. Tell it, hey, please be a top prospect. Let's do a role play here, and then it just starts giving me all these different scenarios, and then at the end tells me what I should improve, what I should do better, what I did wrong, you know, how it would do that, like, you know, how Gemini would have done that if it was a perfect scenario, and how it would change all the conversation, and different things like that that sort of like register in my mind. Okay, this is right, this is wrong, I should do this, I shouldn't do this, stuff like that, right? And then the last thing I want to do today is when it comes to appointment setting, which is basically what I'm going to be documenting today, is the job application or the job apply, basically, that I'm going to be doing / outreach, right? Because sometimes if you're lucky, there's some good job applications open, right? That, you know, it's very simple. You just have to be the best between the applicants, and then you get the job. But there's other times that you have to do the outreach yourself, right? And it's a little bit difficult, more difficult, the outreach, because you have to create kind of pain, I guess, out of nowhere, right? Anyway, I'm gonna be doing both today, and that's gonna be the appointment setting routine for the day. I'm not gonna be working that much today, maybe 4 hours, 5 hours, because I still have all the things I need to do. My family business, go to the gym, call with my friend, do little things, you know. Yesterday was my really hard work in the food delivery driving, so I made a good amount of money. Made a lot of money, actually. So feeling very, very wealthy currently, right? But yeah, this is the routine, and let's see how it goes. Okay, so right now I'm here listening to some Minecraft soundtrack music to get into the mood. And what I'm gonna be doing today, I'm gonna start the day by, first of all, content creation, rather. And I want to talk about something really quickly about content creation. That is that I learned from Matt Jacob when I was watching this 7-hour course rather, about everything about appointment setting. I learned about this, it was like something about the trifecta, something, right? And he talks about the different things that you need to do to become the best appointment setter you can be. And that's in the top, or I don't know, it doesn't really have a order, but it's somewhere in this triangle. The networking, which is you talking to other people, you joining communities, you giving value to other appointment setters, other closers, so that they can refer to you when, you know, there's an opportunity to open, or that opens. Then there's content creation right here, for example, where you create content about, you know, your journey and things that you learn, you've been learning in your appointment setting journey. Not necessarily to buy or to sell a course or to, you know, sell a program, but just so that other, you know, potential employers watch the content and then go, okay, this guy is better than like him by just having a channel, you know, YouTube channel or an Instagram page where he's documenting the journey. I know that he's more serious about this, and that he's gonna take this job way more seriously, right? And it's just different from every other applicant that may apply, right? To, you know, any job. So that's for that. And that's why I want to be doing the content creation and sharing the journey here as I go through here. So, and lastly, so I said networking, content creation, and then the other one is outreach. So basically, it's almost like they kind of intertwine together, and then of course, if you improve all of them, you know, if you improve 3 of them, or all of them, basically, you're going to be better. Your appointment setter profile and who you are as a person is going to be incredibly better, right? At least this is for landing opportunities, job opportunities, right? Because if this was about becoming the best setter, of course there will be a part of the triangle that is practice, right? But this is just for landing roles. Now that's why I'm recording content right now as I am, doing this and explaining a little bit my insights here. But the other thing I'm gonna be doing today is I'm gonna start by doing some sales learning. So let me show you sales.io. I'm part of the community, and there's some good things here. So I'm gonna be doing some engagement in this community. I'm gonna talk about, hey guys, this is Diego. Got my background. If you want to do some mock-up calls, we can do this. Whatever, talking about my goals, etc., etc., etc. And then I'm gonna see or watch these courses right here that have been basically unlocked. So the welcome module, the setting mastery module, the sales fundamentals module, the advanced sales fundamentals module, the B2B mastery module, and then this one right here, the tracking assets and whatever. To be honest, I had watched this video before in the past, but I wasn't really looking for a job at that time. It was more for my sales experience, but I'm gonna rewatch it to like have this clear in my mind, and yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. So let's go. All right, guys. So I'm kind of left a little bit confused right now. So I was watching this course from the sales.io community, and I don't have Loom right here to show you guys, but it's right here. And I was watching this, and there's like a setting module. That's module number 2, the setting mastery. Now I am seeing that he talks about Jalen, which is the guy who presents this, is that he talks about how it's really important that you get into setting not as something that you're going to do to transition to closing just with that benefit or just with that in mind, but rather using sales, or think about sales as, okay, so I need to first master sales, assuming setting, I need to master setting, and then, but not with the goal of transition to closing, right? Like actually getting into setting to master setting, right? And that really applies to me right now because I really want to master setting, right? I'm not really sure if I want to closing position or whatever later on, but I do know that I want to master setting. Now, once I have that in mind, I went to the next module or next video in that module, and he talks about how, how can I say this? There's the difference, or in most offers, if you're new, you're going to start in cold outbound completely, right? So hold on a second. So you start in cold outbound. Basically, you are going to be reaching out to people who are not even interested or don't even know you, and you're going to be booking appointments in that way. Now, if that is something that I want to do in a job, then why am I doing this? Like, am I doing this, or how can I explain this? Like, this is exactly what I was doing in my agency, right? So I'm thinking, do I have to do this, or would it be a smarter approach to do this myself in the agency that I have, right? And for context, the agency was appointment setting agency, right? An appointment setting agency. And I will just like handle leads to fitness coaches. Now, if that is the case, then I may as well do this, right? So here's kind of where I'm thinking about, like, should I get a job right now? Should I just do the agency, like continue to do the agency myself? Because one thing that clicked with me right now very, very hard was that this guy talks about how if you want to really succeed in setting, you're gonna be the setter who does, dials 300 people a day or DMs 300 people a day. He talks about like 300 DMs a day. And like, I felt a little bit guilty because I said agency doesn't work, right? Like, I'm not getting the results from my agency, therefore agency does not work, right? When in reality, probably the reason why it didn't work is because I was just sending about 70 at maximum outreach messages a day. And yeah, I didn't get to a point where I was sending 100 even a day for more than 4 days straight. Like, and so like now that I'm thinking about this, like it makes me think like what are you doing here, right? What are you doing? So I'm kind of thinking, maybe if I'm gonna do I know I'm gonna do setting, right? I'm gonna be doing appointment setting. I can either do this in a job with cold leads, or I can do exact same thing, but with cold outbound for my own agency, right? And this is where I'm thinking, well, kind of left wondering here what to do. Yeah, that's kind of what I'm thinking. Now, after that, I thought, okay, let's think about this. And I thought, well, maybe the way that I was doing the outreach was wrong. Maybe the way that I was doing the outreach, like there's something wrong about my strategy for cold outreach, and I just have to fix that, right? To what I thought, or to that I thought, well, let me just see how other people do that. And I went and searched on Instagram best IG cold DMs for B2C, right? Business to consumer, which in my case for a fitness offer is B2C, right? As opposed to B2B, business to business, or business to business, right? And a video from Charlie Morgan popped up, and I decided to watch it. And I started to watch it, and I saw that there's this way that he talks about, a year ago, where it's basically different from my approach, the approach that I was taking. And so this leaves me wondering, like, well, maybe I'm doing something wrong here. Maybe I am doing something wrong. Maybe I should do something different. Maybe there is a better way to do this, right? So I had already joined, what is the name of this? Is acquisition, client acquisition, or what is it? Imperium Academy. The school community of Charlie Morgan. And I thought, well, and then I'm also part of sales.io, the school community. So I thought, well, maybe if I just ask for some, if I ask for some advice there, certainly there's going to be some people who are going to be able to give me some advice, some tell me what could be wrong, could be good, stuff like that. But at the end of the day, like, that's something I'm going to have to do either way, if I get a job or if I do this myself in the agency. So I'm thinking about this. I'm gonna cook some breakfast right now. I'm gonna do some good eggs with meat, no carbohydrates right now because I want to be sharp, but I want to take a break and kind of like assess what to do here, right? Let's see. Hello everyone, so this is day 2 of the week. So I forgot to mention this in the intro, but I'm going to be doing these vlogs in a weekly basis so that you can see, because I only have about four days a week that I'm able to work in the online business, or in the become an appointment setter basically. And so I'm gonna be documenting the journey in a weekly basis on what I'm doing right, what I'm doing wrong, what are the new insights and stuff like that. Okay, so yeah, that's basically it. And today is day 2 of week number 2, right? So today I'm having some changes and continuing with what I told you before, in the previous clips, was that I was wondering if it's actually worth it for me to get an appointment setting job right now, or continuing with my agency, because so it's almost like I feel like I didn't do the required work enough to say, oh, I'm gonna quit. And I even didn't have the proper cold outreach, Instagram cold outreach strategy in place to do that. And so because of that reason, it's like, well, of course, it's almost like I was like an absolute dickhead saying, oh, for example, like some guy who says, oh, dating doesn't work while still fucking dating the same type of girl, right? Or exercise doesn't work while just doing, like, I don't know, maybe 1 hour, but absolutely terrible exercise that is not going to improve him or achieve his specific goals, right? And so that's how I feel, because I'm doing enough volume, I'm doing the right thing. So because of that reason, I'm gonna basically go back, and I feel so ashamed because I think I said in a previous video or something, like I was doing the appointment setting job or the appointment setting agency, but then I moved to getting an appointment setting job. But then now I'm thinking, okay, I'm gonna do the appointment setting agency again. And so sometimes it happens, man. Sometimes it happens, but I'm gonna do that, and I'm gonna make sure I'm gonna get to a point where I'm gonna have that approach that I told you before dialed in. I wanna have reaching out to at least, at the very, very minimum, 200 people a day with the proper videos that I'm gonna be making basically. And then after that, I'm going to be doing the personalized outreach right now. So before I start to like mess up with AI and stuff like that, I just want to have this with my basically with my phone, and just recording these 20-second videos. But yeah, that's what I'm gonna be doing. I'm gonna be documenting the journey here, so I'm probably gonna use OBS or Loom or whatever. But yeah, let's see how it goes. So right now, what I'm gonna do is, first of all, I'm gonna start my morning routine, because I love my morning routine. It just makes me feel like I am so ready to start the day, right? So I'm gonna do that, and then after I finish that, I'm gonna be scraping some leads from one of my burner accounts in this Growman extension, so that I can sort of like get a lot of leads there to then eventually reach out to. So yeah, that's what I'm gonna do. Let's see how it goes. Okay, so I am scraping the leads right here, and I'm gonna leave this laptop open with basically the lead sourcing. So as you can see here, I've got 10 profiles out of 1,337,645 followers. I'm gonna limit this scrape to only 6,000 because the other day I left the automation running for like 24 hours and my account was flagged or something because I received a message saying that my account has been running for more than 24 hours, so they suspect that I'm a bot. To which I said, well, let me just have this a little bit, or get a good break here for this account. And now I'm back. I'm only gonna do 6,000, and yeah, just with those 6,000, I can certainly send maybe potentially 300 or something. Not 300 or something, but like surely I can send 3,000, 4,000 actual message. Hopefully, maybe even less, maybe 2,000 minimum. But at least it's fine to avoid to like get the account flagged. Well, because of course, trust me, if I could scrape all of the 1 million leads, I could do that. I would absolutely do that. And something that I forgot to say is that I am scraping leads from an account that is fitness related. Okay, so it's Josh Money. I'm not really a fan of fitness accounts, really, but I think I watched this guy on a podcast sometimes or somewhere. So let's see how it goes. Then I'm gonna be reaching out to these people with the strategy that I'm gonna be following, or that right now I'm actually about to learn from the good and trustworthy Charlie Morgan. So let's see how it goes. Okay, so a new update on how the day is currently going. I've so far sent 90 average messages a day, or for this day, currently. And I still have about 2 hours until my day finishes. Okay, so it's currently 11 p.m. I usually go to bed at around 1 p.m. Excuse me, 1 a.m., not 1 p.m. And by that time, I'm going to be able to send another batch of 30 average messages, maybe potentially 2 batches of 30. So maybe increasing that to 150 today. And honestly, this is something I want to say. This is so important to say that for last months, I hadn't been able to do this amount of volume. Like I hadn't been able to do that. Like the maximum I did in a day for like the last month was like 40. And sometimes I didn't even do 40. Sometimes I didn't even do any average messages a day. Like I was procrastinating. I was thinking about different strategies. Like so many things. Like so much bullshit. And now that I'm thinking about this, it's like, well, of course it's not gonna work. Because if you only reach out to 40 people sometimes, and then sometimes you reach out to 70 a day, but then you fall off the next day. Like you have to do 150, 300 a day consistently. And I'm gonna be completely honest. Like I could have sent today more messages. So right now I have 90. Let's say I do 30 in total, 60 in total more for today. 2 batches of 30 more, which is easy to be honest. It's not that hard. But if I'm able to do that, then by the time that I am the day finishes, I'm gonna be at around 150. I could have done like more actually because I was kind of wasting some time. Well, actually today actually it was a good day actually, but maybe on other days that I know already, because today I crafted the BSL, the Trojan horse, that I want to talk about in a second. But yeah, today I crafted it, I learned, I memorized it, and I started to record it. So maybe on other days that I know exactly what I'm gonna record. I'm gonna start from the morning. Maybe I'm gonna be able to like send 300 average messages a day like this. So yeah, this is a thing. And there's one thing I wanted to mention here is that I joined basically the school community, Imperium Imperium Academy. I keep mixing these things up, but I joined this school community, and now I'm going to, like, I went for the first module. I'm gonna put in the title of the video, joining school community, this school community, because I also want to make this like a blog. And so far, I am very excited. Actually, I'm very excited about this, and I know that if I kind of like stick to this, I'm gonna be able to build a business. Like sometimes I think about this, and like sales for me So I was mentioning, as I was mentioning before, like I was not really sure if I wanted to do my agency or like a sales position and then doing high ticket sales or whatever. But really, what I really want to do is have my own company. And I know that I might go through the entire process of the high ticket sales space, but then I know that at the end of that is going to be to basically to do my own company, right? But if I have this course and then I'm able to follow it to the T and then build a company from right now, like this appointment setting agency that I think is so important, like so good, then it can be an absolute win, And so I'm gonna try this, I'm gonna be trying this. I'm gonna learn these modules from this program that is completely free, by the way. So grateful for the opportunity. So yeah, this is currently where I'm at. So having said that, I am going to put here the camera to record, and I'm going to be sending another batch of 30. Then I'm gonna potentially, not potentially, but I'm gonna start to do either some video editing of what I've got on this blog, or I'm gonna be doing the next module of this school community. So let's see how it goes. Goodbye. Hello guys, how's it going? This is Diego. This is the next day, and I have my to-do list very clearly laid out here of everything I'm gonna do today. In Charlie Morgan's program, he shared 2 resources that you can do. Basically, it's like a spreadsheet to-do list, basically, and then a daily planner. Now, to be honest, I'm not really like that, or I don't have that really preference to get to that point where every 30 minutes I know where I'm putting everything I'm gonna do, because I feel like it's gonna become very repetitive, right? Always putting in what I'm gonna do in the morning, because my day doesn't really change that much right now, right? There's like a lot of tasks that I know I'm gonna have to do either way. Like for example, the reaching out of people, and then watching Charlie Morgan's program, go to the gym, etc. And I have like my days pretty played out. So what I would like to do rather than that is to put in my calendar what I'm gonna do, right? And so I'm actually gonna write that down, because my current calendar is not as aligned to my current routine, so I'm gonna put that down. And for my daily to-do list, I usually have 2 things. Number one is my Google Calendar, or not Google Calendar, Google Task account, where I basically brain dump basically every task that I need, or I know that I'm gonna want to do. I just put it in there. Okay, so for example, if I need to pay money to my family because they purchased something for me, or if I need to buy one accessory that I'm kind of wanting, or if there's something that I need to do, anything, it can be as little as washing my clothes, or fucking sending something to get repaired or something like that, right? I just put it in there, and then every single day, basically I just kind of find, or not usually every single day, but a lot of the times I just go to my Google task account, and then I see what are the tasks that I can do that day, and I just put them here. And if I know that they are very, very urgent, the ones in the Google tasks, I just basically put them all the way on the top. And rather, it will be a good idea to actually create different lists for that, because you can create different lists. But this is my workflow. I actually like more this workflow, to be honest, because I'm writing things down, like what I'm grateful for, what I'm proud of, what I could do better. And just having a piece of paper here, it just allows me to just makes me feel better doing the process like that. Okay, so yeah, having said that, today's gonna be a good day. And something I wanted to tell you guys is that, so yesterday I sent 150 outreach messages, right? And 2 people replied, one saying no thank you, very, very, very kind person, right? Like a lot of people don't reply, or previously a lot of people also told me to basically fuck off or whatever. But I want to tell you guys one thing specifically about this, is that I'm finding more and more that with cold outreach you can win against, how can we say this, like haters, right? Even if you're not like a public figure or anything like that, you're still gonna have people who hate on you, basically. So with cold outreach, like if you don't send a personalized message, they're gonna say, oh, what a lazy person you are, you should send me a personalized message. If you send a personalized message, then they're going to find another thing. Or like, for example, this guy told me, dude, your profile isn't even optimized, right? And if your profile isn't even optimized, he's gonna tell you whatever, fucking one guy I remember told me, because I was in one BSL, I was with my hat, my cowboy hat, like this. I was recording a video like this, and in that video the guy told me, I'm not a cowboy, you're wearing a cowboy, and this is not your target market, or something like that. And I was thinking, like, what the fuck? Like, do you think if I wear a fucking clown, a clown nose, I'm going to attract you? Like, it's just so weird. And there's people who are gonna find everything, anything, to kind of like critique you, I guess, or I don't know why am I going makes them feel better about themselves or whatever. I don't understand, to be honest. But this is a lesson, okay? So the reason why I'm thinking this, or the way I'm taking this myself, is that I know that there's gonna be hate in cold outreach. I know it. Just like in any other part of life, right? If you post content, there's gonna be hate, right? If you make a business, you're gonna have hate from some people, and so it's just a constant in life, right? Or at least in cold outreach. And so, having said that, I know that there's gonna be hate, and I shouldn't really care about this because it's gonna happen either way. Either way, it's gonna happen. If I do it, if I try to do it as perfect as I can, then someone is gonna criticize how I look, or how my eyes look, or how my my ears are, or whatever, or how what time of the day I record this video. Like, well, it's just right. So don't try to be perfect. And when you have a lot of people like this, for example, we're gonna be completely honest. I don't really take the advice from people who tell me here. Like, they sometimes say, "Hey, bro, your profile isn't optimized." For example, this guy. I'm not gonna sit down and say, "Oh yeah, let me just take this, like, have humility, and let me just ask him, what would that look like." I don't even care about that. I don't even care. I'm gonna listen to only Charlie Morgan and the guys at Sale.io. That's all. I don't care about what this guy told me. Not really interested in that. Okay. Or any other guys, because there's a lot of guys who are gonna critique the way that you speak, the way that you create basically the way that you do your strategy. The BSL. They're gonna critique how long it is, how short it is, just so many things, right? So again, just don't take it seriously. Just basically let this information get into you 1 year and then get out in another year. Okay, so yeah, having said that, I'm gonna get into recording 30 outreach messages right now, and then I'm gonna watch a module from Charlie Morgan, and then I'm gonna do back to back. So I'm gonna do 30 minutes of outreach messages, or 30 outreach messages, and then I'm gonna go back to probably around 30 minutes or 1 hour of appointment, learning from Charlie Morgan, rather, the course or the program, and then I'm gonna go back to 30 minutes or 30 outreach messages, and then 30 to 1 hour, potentially 45 minutes of Charlie Morgan program, and just gonna be like this, right? This is gonna be a good day. Let's see how it goes. Oh my goodness, I just finished the last very quick session of learning from Charlie Morgan's program, the free one, and damn, damn. This is 3 hours long, this module here. This single module, or not even module, this video in the module. Bro, oh my god. 3 hours long, and I'm in 1 hour and 16 minutes. Oh my god, and I felt, this was the first time in a while that I felt like I need to like I was mounting my feet. I was going from here to there. I was laying down and I was putting my legs over the desk, and then I put them back, or putting them back down, moving. I was basically just doing circles in my chair. Like, it's just so many things that I was trying to do, just to like make this time pass faster, but like it's so important. I know how to do this. I know I have to do this, but of course it's a little bit complicated to watch this, to be honest. But hey, listen, this is the foundation. This is the foundation, and this is gonna make me a lot of money. So very. I mean, I can do the hard things. I mean, I'm not allergic to that. So, but I just wanted to say this. Like, I felt damn. So now I'm gonna take a break for a good few hours. I'm gonna go and I'm gonna do some physical work that I need to do. Some physical tasks that pop up in the day, but yeah, luckily after this everything's gonna be fine. God damn it. Then so far I've sent 90 outreach messages today. I think I'm gonna be able to get to 120 today, so let's see how it goes. Hello everyone, Charlie Morgan here. Diego here. I am in day. This is gonna be my last day of the week for working, basically building my business, appointment setting, and I got very good things that I'm gonna be doing today. And the main goal is gonna be to get to basically at least 120 outreach messages, and more like 200. If I can do 200 today, that will be so good. Okay, so as I said, it's gonna be a very, very interesting day and very hard working day. Okay, so I'm gonna be sending this amount of outreach. Then I'm also going to be doing finishing the outreach, the 3-hour video from Charlie Morgan that I was trying to finish yesterday, but it's almost impossible, to do it in just one go. So I get, like, if I was like trying to resist, there's this movie where there's like a alcoholic, and they're basically, he discovers this in a hotel, this fridge full of bottles of vodka, tequila, or whatever, right? And then he's right there just sitting, and then he's bouncing his feet, and then he's basically speeding from one side of the hotel to the other side of the hotel to the other side, and he's just moving. So I guess he doesn't feel the urge so much to go back again to drink, right? So that's kind of how I feel about sometimes, like, watching this 3-hour course or module from Charlie Morgan. But I know for a fact it's important. And those are the 2 main tasks that I want to finish by today. Okay, there's other little tasks, like joining this new gym that I'm going to, that I tried yesterday, which is really, really nice. Creating my routine on Google Calendar, do some appointments that I need to do, basically government-related appointments, basically considering the software that I'm using, etc., etc., etc. Right? So yeah, that's everything I want to say today. Let's see how it goes. All right, so I finished the another batch. So that's 32 outreach messages sent, and now I'm gonna go and have some well-deserved breakfast. I'm starting to experiment with some breakfast in the morning, because I usually never get breakfast because it just makes me feel tired. But of course, the breakfast I get right now literally has no carbohydrates. Literally none. Maybe about 4 eggs and some sort of piece of protein, like chicken or whatever, something that is simple to make, that has no carbohydrates. And then I just continue with my day, because I notice that if I eat carbohydrates right now, for example, if I got my normal oatmeal that I get around 4 p.m. right now, I'll fall asleep completely. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. One thing I want to say right now is that I got this guy who sent me feedback on the outreach. So he appreciated it. He was not interested in the fitness coaching, and he told me some couple of improvement points. So I'm gonna tell you right now out loud, right? So the first thing is that he said that I should, although he never said I should, right? But like he basically recommended me to improve my accent, because when I said what was the offer, he didn't understand me, and he had to rewatch it 3 or 4 times. So yeah, maybe I can be more clear on that. More make sure that I pronounce the words better. So that's one improvement there that I can do. The other improvement he told me was that the text that I sent with the video, I said, this is 100% not ChatGPT, by the way. Shot this real quick, thought you back with it. He said that it was AI or something. Here's why I didn't really understand what he meant, but I guess he thinks that it's AI the message. Well, reality, I mean, I'm not sure if whatever. Maybe I can change it a little bit. I'm not sure. Maybe I can put this is 100% not AI, by the way, or something like that, just to change it a little bit. No, I don't think it's a big deal. The actual text message that I sent along the video, right? And then the last thing I want to say is that he said that I should, to make it easier for him, double tap on the video to like the video, to make it easier for him. To which I am not close to that, because he said that it could be harder to write okay, the text okay, right? The word okay. So yeah, I'm in a point now where I'm kind of like thinking, okay, I'm not gonna immediately change my strategy, right? I'm gonna think it's gonna be in my mind. And I usually don't really take advice from people, like, to reply to my messages, because there's like sometimes they're just like hating, right, or whatever. But sometimes there's some good advice in the feedback that they give you. For example, I remember when I started to do this outreach, a lot of people told me that I was speaking too fast, and that it will be better to change that and speak slower. And I did that, and it helped. It certainly helped. And people, now it didn't say that, basically they didn't write that in the messages for like feedback. So I guess it's okay. I mean, I don't have to be close entirely. It just feels something like I'm giving power them away, or giving my power away by taking their advice, right? That's sometimes how it feels, but it doesn't necessarily have to be like that. It can be just that, okay, I'm seeing some feedback and I'm gonna take the feedback and just improve. As long as it makes sense, kind of marketing wise. For example, the idea of double tapping on the video. Yes, I know that doing a CTA that is the easiest is gonna be better. So potentially that can be actually very good. For example, that one, it aligns with my logic on making the CTA really easy. And the video, the chat GPT or the AI message, I don't know if that's a big deal. I don't even really didn't understand that, but I'm gonna think about that. But the other one about me pronouncing better words when I say the actual offer, that could be pretty solid. That could be a good idea too. And yeah, I guess it's not like a binary thing of like, or you lose your control by taking their advice, or you don't, but rather it's almost like a spectrum, right? Like you don't completely lose your your power away or whatever. It's like you're taking some advice from someone who might just want to really help, right? Because I guess sometimes when you're doing the outreach, you kind of expect that if it's not like a fuck yes from someone, it's someone like they're trying to like make fun of you or something like that. But that doesn't really serve, like having that mindset doesn't really work or doesn't really help you. So yeah, right now I'm gonna go. I'm gonna take a quick break, and I'm going to go for a kg or 2 kgs of eggs to cook. And yeah, goodbye. Okay, another thing I want to say really quickly is that I've been getting into the habit of, as soon as possible, just write the people who are interested and not interested, or basically just keeping the database as thoroughly clean as possible. Because I know that if I would have gotten a job, which I decided to like try first the agency, if the agency I started to see like doesn't really work that much, then I'm gonna go for the job, of course. But I decided to first start with the agency. If I had a job right now, I will have to do this. Like this wouldn't be a negotiable. This will be a non-negotiable. I will have to like keep my database clean because I will like to be kept in the job, right? So yeah, that's for that. And for example, right now this guy said that I sent him a message. He said, "I'm already way too jacked, brother. Can this guy help me get out of shape?" This type of messages is like, I'm not even gonna reply to this because it's just like whatever. He's not trying to advance anything, and realistically, I'm not in the DMs trying to like have a quick conversation with someone, right? So, and I'll respect this guy, but it just right now it just doesn't show any buying interest or intent or interest, right? So I immediately, when I saw this message, I got the notification, I saw the profile, and then I looked it up on my database, and then I put not interested, move forward. So that I don't have to follow with him, or I don't have to, I know that he's not interested. Yeah, that's one quick thing I want to say. Goodbye. Hello everyone, Charlie Malcolm here. Just kidding. This is Dale. I am finishing the workday today. I'm going to do my night routine. I just need to do a little bit of cleaning. Let me just turn my camera around. I like to keep my space clean, of course, because today I'm gonna go to bed early. So this is actually going to be the end of the video, guys, because, well, as you know, I am a food delivery driver. I'm working as a food delivery driver right now, and that's the way I make my money. And at least right now, right, that I'm not having, I'm actually not making any money from my business yet. So that's the way that I make my money. But what I wanted to say is that because I work 3 days a week only, of course, those 3 days have to be really, really immersive. They have to be really, really like in depth, like in the day, really intensive. And so basically that means that on the days that I work in the food delivery driving, I work all day. All right. And that's what I'm gonna do tomorrow. Basically Friday, today's Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Those days are the hardest days for me. Not hardest, like I actually love my work, to be honest. Sometimes I like to sing, I like to say, like I even like sometimes doing more the driving my motorbike. Kind of turning my brain off and just listening to some educational videos or whatever on the background. But yeah, like I actually actually like my work. But anyways, I'm digressing. I think that's how we call it. Basically, what I want to end the day by saying is that this is the end of the vlog. I want to thank you guys for being here, watching the blog. I'm gonna try to make this as short as possible. And tomorrow I'm going to continue to work in my my work, right? Like my life basically. So my life right now is not only online business, right? It's also going to the gym. Yesterday I had a date with my girlfriend, so it's usually around 5 hours I spend with her on the once a week that we see each other. She's also very busy and stuff. Going to the gym is important for myself. Working, making actual money, right? Like something that's gonna pay my bills and stuff like that, right? That's kind of also part of my life. But in these 4 days, I feel actually very happy for the progress that we made here. Where, for example, I sent minimum 90 messages, outreach messages a day for the past 3 days, which is unheard of for myself. I hadn't done this for forever. I think I never did this. I never got to this point, and I feel so great about this. So I'm gonna end the day feeling very good. And yeah, guys, this is good. Stick along for the next vlog next week, where I'm gonna be sharing you basically the progress I've been making. If I got any people interested in in my appointment setting business or agency and stuff like that, or if at the end of the day I need to jump ship and actually do get an appointment setting job, right? So this is going to be an interesting journey. I feel very, very happy, to be honest, for all of this, and yeah, very happy about it all, and hopefully you guys enjoyed it. Goodbye.